All right, I guess we'll get going. It looks like the attendees slowed down a little bit. I don't see any of our board members on to do the welcome. I know Lisa's deployed on a wildfire. I'm not sure about the rest. Our special guest today is Simtech Fire, and they have a crew here to give us an update. But first, we're going to hear from Eric's and the NFA crew, if he's ready.
Yeah, thank you, John. And we'll keep it short today. I know you've got a guest speaker, and it's always good to see John. Just from a historic standpoint, John met with me many years ago in a previous role, and I said, John, you need to connect up with NAFTD. So glad to see you have done that ever since, and glad to see you're on today for a presentation, my friend.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So from a National Fire Academy's perspective, I think the big news is state fire training grants rolled out yesterday morning. So all of you should now be able to apply for your $20,000. Please remember to get your applications in promptly, because we're probably not going to be able to extend, because we want to get this money allocated and out the front door. We do have 2 different orientation sessions scheduled that you received through Executive Director Cunningham. So that'll be our staff along with the Grants Preparedness Directorate. I can tell you there's nothing new from last year in those orientation sessions, but it's a good review because I know this is a small grant, but an important grant. So we wanted to make sure we offer that. I did receive a call late last night from Ward saying, hey, look, some of the Y courses don't list the classes that we entered. And that is correct. The link in the NOFO is the old link. We're in the process of updating the Y course list, so don't stop that from your grant being submitted. And what I mean by that is if there's a class that you want to add, just send me an email and let me know that you want a course added. I'll work with you and give it a Y course number, and you'll be good to go. And you will see the new Y course list rolling out pretty soon. That was really caught up in the backlog of work we have to do from the most recent shutdown, but don't let the Y course issue stop you. And for those of you new, the Y courses are courses that you have that you want to use your grant dollars for, and we issued an NFA course number, so you own it, you deliver it. But the nice thing is that you can use your grant money for it. But the other thing is when your fellow state partners see it on the list, they can reach out to you and ask if they can use that course as well. So somebody might be looking for a course on X. Let's say that Mike has it at MIFRE. You can reach out to him and say, look, can we use your course? It's up to the owner to give you permission. But then if the owner gives you permission, and you could use it. So think of it as a library, but the state that submits it for the Y course owns it. So I can address any questions you have offline with that. The other thing that we have really moving forward is everybody that has been impacted by the shutdowns has been rescheduled on campus. We've added classes to meet the needs. We've also added classes to meet the demand signals. We also have rescheduled all the classes that you've wanted to host off campus, and we've also added classes off campus. We still have some dollars available if you want to add classes to the off-campus delivery. So just reach out to Lori Welch. The only hook that we have is that the classes have to be delivered by the end of September in the fiscal year, because we're not going to be able to extend dollars into next year. So if you still want to add some classes this year into September, we're going to work with you to do that. So please reach out to us if you want more classes. Just hosted Ohio weekend on campus, really good results there. And we have 6 other state weekends coming up at the NFA. Nearest continues to move forward really strong. You have probably seen over 15 million calls for service have been logged into the new system. We also just allocated over $1 million of funding to build out more Nearest classes for our users. So we'll be setting up a work group to identify gaps in how do we use data. We already have some of those courses in the chute. We'll have another series of new classes coming out. We are going to create a class aligned with the new NFPA standard on data within the protocol series. So that'll take about a year for us to get there, but it's in the hopper. But we're also going to reach out to create at least a working group of people to give us feedback on what training is needed across the country to fill gaps in the specific data arena. So I'll be reaching out to John and your president to get a rep from NAFTD to do that, but wanted to plant the seed. We have invested in updating and creating 65 plus classes starting last year and in this year. So I will get you a list of all those classes with the recap for us that I'll send through John. We also have brought back a class based on your request. Politics in a White Helmet, 2-day class that's being delivered again off campus. I know Connecticut's the first one out of the gate to host that class. We paused it for a while. We gave it a refresh, but it's back. And then the other one that a number of you asked for is to bring back the 2-day training ops for small departments, the TOSD class. So that one's coming back into the system here. Probably in your next course call, you'll see that. So those are the updates for today. I don't see any other staff logged in, so I don't want to miss them. So let me scan really quick. But let me pause there, John, to see if there's any questions from your members.
Questions for Eric's? We appreciate all you've been doing, Eric's, and getting get us in contact with Mike to get that state training grants out and all that information. There was a call for criteria review. They're working on some dates. So we'll participate in that when it comes up, when they settle on the dates. I've already talked to the board about that.
Okay. So John, with that, that's the report for today. I'll send you a written recap so you could include it. The other thing, I look forward to welcoming a lot of you here, not next Monday, but the following Monday when you're going to do grant reviews on campus. So very much appreciate the partnership we enjoy with all of you and wishing, obviously for Canada, we just passed Canada Day, so happy belated Canada Day. But for the U.S., a big celebration here with 250 years. So thank you so much, everybody, for your support, your assistance.
Thanks, Eric. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, next up, John Hanson, and I'll let him introduce his folks. John and Simtech have been a fantastic supporter of our organization for a long time. They're a diamond, platinum, highest level sponsor this year for our conference once again. We're happy to see that. They'll be setting up a booth in Baton Rouge, and we're looking forward to see all the good stuff that they have to offer. So, John, I'll turn it over to you and let you go through your presentation, and then we can do a Q&A after that. Or
Yeah,
Sarah,
sounds good.
whoever.
Sounds good. Yeah, Sarah, if you could pull up the deck and take the screen share, would be
Absolutely.
great. I'll ask just two favors while we're going through this. Again, I'm in the deep woods of Maine, getting ready to start vacation right after this call. So if my service drops and you're not hearing me, just please speak up and let the team know they'll take over. Secondly, you don't have to hold questions till the end. If there's something you guys want to go deeper on or areas you have questions as we're going through here, more than happy to stop and go deeper. Really planned for today. I guess first, let me just introduce the team members. Sarah Graybill is our proposals and marketing coordinator. Paul Ellis is our pre-con manager. He's based out of Ontario, Canada. Sorry, Sarah's based out of Northern California in Sacramento. Paul's been around the block in fire training going back over 20 years. Gary West recently retired as state fire marshal from Tennessee. I think a lot of you guys know Gary. Lynn Morgan was just instructor of the year for the state of Missouri. Still teaches in Missouri. He's our regional manager for that area. Brian Arnold is on the line. He retired after running Oklahoma City fire training for about 34 years. So a really great breadth of experience. And Ashley Freimiller just joined our team right around FDIC as our business operations specialist. Anybody else from Simtech hiding on this call that I missed? I don't want to miss anybody else. I know I missed Ashley earlier. All good, I think. And I'm John Hanson, owner, managing director, CEO of Simtech Fire. I've recognized a lot of the names on the call, some new ones as well for me though. But a lot of you guys know my background. I mean, grew up in the fire training systems industry. My dad started the first training systems company in the 70s with the U.S. Navy. So been around the block. I think I've worked on around 300 training facilities in my career, which spans a couple decades now. So sorry, you could progress this. There's really kind of three main sections in here. You could skip past this. So kind of just some company updates, a little bit of background about us, some things you guys may not know about our company or some newer things about our company. Probably the most important part for today is just new tech and new products that we've introduced to the marketplace. I think that this will be the most interesting section for the members. And then just some updates on some NAFTD member projects, some new ones that are underway, some recently finished ones, and some previously finished ones that we'll touch on. Um, Planning to take about 20 minutes here, Jonathan. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, sounds good. If you need to hurry me along, no problem. If you have other topics to cover, totally get it. So no worries at all. You go next slide, Sarah. So just as just a quick refresh on what we cover, we do have a very broad catalog of what we do. So it's about half of our business, about 45% of our business is modified container training buildings that they range from single story flashover cans and fire behavior labs, mobile props, all the way up to multi-stories. The biggest ones we're doing this year are 5 stories. Some of them are 22 containers, 5, 6 burn rooms, but we do many smaller ones as well. The other 45% of our business is gas prop systems for either interior or exterior applications. And then the other, the last kind of 10% is kind of a mix of specialty things like hazmat and aircraft rescue. Constantly introducing new products, as you'll see today. So my family experience goes back 47 years in the field. So, kind of grew up in it. It's sort of all I know. As a personnel team, we've worked on over 400 training facilities. Team continues to grow both in the US and Canada. Some of them, I'd say about half the members that are on the call today joined our company within the last year. Several of us have been on the NFPA committee. I was an alternate who helped write the 2019 standard, which obviously rolls into 1400 now, as well as Byron Charbonneau. You can go next slide, Sarah. This is a notable one, the Sourcewell contract, one of the big government co-op contracts. I only mention it here because I would have thought most state agencies were not eligible to use this, and I've been pleasantly surprised to find I was wrong. So I think we just got an order yesterday, Paul, with the state of Kentucky for some equipment through Sourcewell. Since we signed that contract the 29th of March, I think we've had 11 or now 12 projects in the US and one big one in Canada, which I'll touch on a little bit later. But long story short, there were 64 respondents across the training category. It's one of the 18 contracts that Sourcewell puts out there every 4 years. It's a 4-year contract for the training program. Simtech ranked #1 in the training category. So that included the gas prop companies, the training tower companies, mobile props, AR and VR, companies that just do hands-on training programs, all the above in the training category. So it was a pretty notable accomplishment for our company. You could skip past this, just growing reference list that crosses, municipal, DoD, colleges. This is really notable. So, there's a significant amount of aging equipment in the marketplace. We personally service, our company services some equipment that my dad put in the late 90s, which is now hitting, 25, in some cases 30, 35 years old. So we've had a lot of service and upgrades on this old equipment. Some of it's actually not even that old. Some of the tear out and replacement projects that we're doing, some of them were kind of early 2000s, as recent as 2010. I think the Fort Worth upgrade we're getting ready to do, that equipment went in around 2018. So this is, significant overhaul and upgrades and modernization of competitor equipment, or in some cases full tear out and replacements. One of which was Virginia Department of Fire programs for Glen Acres and the VDFP team last year and into this year. A few more projects on the horizon. We just actually got San Antonio, Texas, which is I think it was a 99 installation that my dad did way back in the day, that we're getting ready to tear out and replace all their gas prop and smoke systems and safety instrumentation. And we're also, the bottom half here, we're also on some of the largest gas prop projects in history. So Sarasota County, Florida is 31 interior fires going into a single drill tower, all kinds of unique fire extensions and flame effects, exterior scene assessment type effects, multi-fire burn rooms. Martin County, Harper College, Bates, San Francisco, other very notable ones. These are basically the 5 biggest gas prop projects going on in the US right now. Paul, you want to take the Canada slide?
Yeah, for sure. So just kind of interesting to see some growth and trends in Canada. We kind of want to note, and it all kind of ties into one we were really recently awarded a few months ago. to a member of NAFTD in Prince Edward Island. So it just kind of speaks to the trends that we talked with multiple members about over years at most FDIC. Probably in Canada, we're seeing about 90% gas installations and about 10% Class A. There's US probably about 60-40 split, 50-50 split. So it all kind of started with we were awarded a project in Welland, Ontario. Kind of came with a footprint for a multi-purpose style settings. They have your taxpayer strip mall setting, a high rise, residential, all within one, and it kind of developed and morphed into multiple different footprints through different facilities and layouts to what Prince Edward Island got, which is similar strip mall. There's a garage with an SUV prop that can go inside and outside, industrial rack in the garage as well. Inset balcony for victim tie-off. Switchback stairs inside for their high-rise simulation. And I think it's 4 gas burn rooms with some expansion plans. I'm going to kind of go back to the trends. Canadian Nuclear Labs in Manitoba, of those projects, is the one Class A project for Simtech. So it's exciting. We've seen the chart there, 3 or 4 projects every year up until now, and we're halfway through the year, and we're at 4 already. So we'll be out in John's neck of the woods probably in the next 6 months or so, doing Halifax Fire Department's tilt up burn building, gas prop installation there. So it's exciting times in Canada. It's pretty neat to see the growth and development through all the provinces, really.
Yeah, it's one of those questions Ken Willett used to ask me is like, what's the trend on gas versus Class A? I think it's fair to say the Canadian market, is predominantly gas for all these new construction projects. As Paul said, that CNL1, Canadian Nuclear Labs in Manitoba, is the only one that's Class A of the 8 or 10 that we're building right now. The US is, I would say, like as Paul said, it's probably about 60-40 Class A versus gas, 50-50. It does vary quite a bit by state as well throughout the US. At Simtech, we offer it all. We offer traditional Class A, fire attack. We offer fire behavior. We also offer gas, which everybody knows has environmental and exposure benefits and safety benefits. Also, some throughput benefits. We're also able to offer, combination where we're doing Class A fire attack, fire behavior, and gas all in the same facility. So, but yeah, really really interesting to see the momentum in Canada. We do have manufacturing in Canada, which has helped, I think, this growth trajectory as well with tariffs and stuff like that. We have local manufacturing of all the containers and things like that. Go next slide, Sarah. Okay, so the real meat and potatoes. We'll be brief on each of these. There's probably about 5, 6, or 7 tech updates here, product updates, new products we've introduced. Again, if there's any one you guys want to go deeper on, definitely feel free to ask questions and stop us. So firefighter skills trainers, this is a pretty big one. There's not many customers for us, fire departments, training academies, or state agencies that we talk to that aren't highly interested in what we do. Sometimes, especially with local volley departments, the biggest issue is running into land constraints and budget constraints. So these firefighter skills trainers are pretty much everything but live burn, right? The module 10 gives you 10 different firefighter skills all in one 10 by 8 footprint, basically fits in a parking spot. We've got a fixed version, we've got a wheeled version that you can wheel in the firehouse or wheel outside, and then we've got trailerable versions like you can see in the bottom right. We also have a 20-foot version that adds 5 additional skills or JPRs. So this is an exciting development. We actually just got our first DoD order as well for one of these going to Fort Buchanan in Puerto Rico. This is one we're seeing a lot of interest in. This is another brand new project development, trench rescue trainers. This was actually developed for the U.S. Marine Corps, Camp Pendleton, specifically to the California state standards, but certainly can apply for other states. The 20 or so years I've been working on training facilities, anytime a trench rescue type trainer came up, it was, get a local contractor to dig holes in the ground, right? That's pretty much you're making them into the ground. So we've made a modular system out of containers. The California state spec called for both a T and an L. The L had this unique requirement for, a 10-foot height and 8-foot height. So you could see the high cube and the low cube container leverage to create that with the roof decks to get to the specified height. There's skid steer openings and things like that for loading materials. So this one, we went into it, kind of eyes wide open, knowing it'd be something that is new and innovative. Had to be heavily reinforced to take the pressure of struts and things like that that'll be used in this environment. But we're extremely excited to get feedback from Camp Pendleton as they just put this into service in the last week or so. And are going to start to use it and send us feedback and videos and things like that. Brian Arnold had developed something pretty similar, kind of homemade for Oklahoma City years ago. So we got a lot of input from him on the design, some of our other NFPA certified instructor cadre. So this was an exciting development for sure. And then some advancements in confined space simulators. Again, build a lot of these for both municipal departments and for DoD. Bottom left one, we're actually still waiting to install it for the U.S. Navy in Bahrain. That's a place that unfortunately got hit by Iraq, and we're still waiting to hear if our equipment was damaged or not. Well, it had arrived on site, and we know their station got hit and stuff like that. So, but that's just one design. The one on the top right, uses a 20-foot vertical. It's got some lockout tagout props, which we'll touch on in a second. But it's got all these kinds of tubes on the inside. It's got for safety, you can see some of the doors with kind of scuttle openings for quick access if you've got a trainee, who's trapped or needs quick egress and things like that. So there's converging wall systems, there's rappelling opportunities, lots of training value built into this unit. 4 different size confined space tubes, vertical and horizontal tubes throughout it as well. Vent over fire prop. So we do get this one. This is one that comes up a lot on the West Coast. So it's kind of like a fire. If you picture a fire behavior lab, about a 20-foot burn room on the first floor, but with real ventilation. A lot of these vent props over the years are just kind of static props sitting on top of a container or a mobile unit or a building. This is real vents. So you're actually venting heat, gases, and smoke through both a flat roof and an angled roof. And this customer had a mobile fire vent type product. They had a couple of fixed buildings with vent props and just found that this was by far the best ventilation training they had done to date. So, easy, quick reset to get into the next evolution, but real ventilation. Obviously, you have the ability to ladder left or right based on wind direction, size up, the ability to use remove that center rail and do bucket work out of a ladder truck. So a lot of versatility in this unit. The forcible entry simulator, so another one we recently introduced in the last 6 months or so. This one has got a traditional, pry door, forcible entry door. It's got a K12 cut door prop. It's got varied angle rebar. It's got a lock cutting prop, commercial cutting prop, a hinge removal prop. It's got a VES window, and it's got optional confined space. So this one's another one that's been really well received in the market. And this one, just like the vent over fire prop, pretty much everything we do can be made as a fixed prop or a mobile prop. So multiple ways we can execute these products. Lockout tagout props are pretty much brand new. Sarah, is that one on the right of video or is that just a static image?
Are you able to see the video accessing?
Yeah, it looks like, at least for me, I know my service is not great right now. It's a little glitchy, but you can kind of get the idea. So it's rather than using the hazard of real electrical, this is a combination of strobe lights, arcing sound effects, a smoke machine. This customer wanted it, Marine Corps customer wanted it on the exterior because that was their spec. We often recommend it for the interior where you're, a dark, smoky environment and have to find that power disconnect and then lock out the prop. The gas meter accessory prop as well can be put on a building, really good for residential training. Uses solenoid valves, wireless controls, compressed air to simulate leaks. So again, two different new ways to create these lockout tagout scenarios without exposing instructors and trainees to any of the real hazards. A new one on the aircraft side. Is that video playing okay for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's all good, John.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. So yeah, this one's got about 8 different fire zones, all wirelessly controlled or pedestal controlled. Um, I don't want to get into the politics of what I think about some of the FAA specs on the training that's forced for checking boxes on certification, but this one is really focused on the practical stuff from a scenario perspective. Wing engine fires, wheel brake fires, optional spill fires, smoke, things like that. Um, Certainly can be used as a standalone prop, can be put on a trailer and moved around. It actually fits on. When we design these props, we design them all to fit on the same trailer. So we have a flat deck trailer that fits an SUV prop, a car prop, a hazmat tanker, this wing prop. They all fit on the footprint of the same trailer. Or in what's shown in the video, it's actually a steel skid where you can move it around with a forklift, but we make it with casters so it can go on a trailer and move around on site very easily. We're seeing a lot of interest for this prop too in older ARF trainers that maybe don't have the most sophisticated fire scenarios next to an aircraft mock-up. This is an easy add to quickly upgrade an existing aircraft mock-up. Um, Portable smoke machine. So this was an interesting development. So it was LA County had something like 30 or 40 of a competitor's portable smoke machine. The design was about 17 years old. Every time it would break, they'd have to ship it across the country from Los Angeles to New York to get it fixed. And they were asking us to repair it. And we looked at it and it was just like, there's only so much you could do on a design that's got some flaws. It was constantly leaking. Water would leak in if it was ever exposed to water. Smoke fluid would condense and leak on the inside. So long story short is we prototyped a brand new design for LA County. As soon as they saw the prototype, we got an order within a few weeks for 14 of them for LA County. Metropolitan Community College in Kansas just ordered one. Eddy County, New Mexico just ordered 3 of them. Very, very popular quickly without much advertising behind it, but it really knocks the socks off of any of the portable machines that at least we've seen in the marketplace. So wanted to share that with the members here as well. It's a brand new innovation that we introduced at FDIC a couple months ago. Yeah, and then going to the gas side, the historic complaint about gas props was always, BTUs, fire's not hot enough, smoke's not, realistic enough. And I will never claim, and nobody should ever claim that, the smoke from a gas prop is going to be anything like a fire behavior lab or a Class A burn. I mean, you're not going to get real smoke when you're using aerosol fog. But we've done some things to make it better. The things we've done to make it better are introducing a higher BTU output per fire point. We've also maximized the CFMs, the cubic feet per minute output on the smoke system. So this is a short video that just shows you. I always think like when I think about gas prop manufacturers, a lot of them out there, everybody's fire looks pretty good when there's no water applied. Everybody's smoke looks pretty good when there's no fire burning. It's how is that smoke condition, maintained and how consistent does this say when you're actually attacking the fire and navigating the seat of the fire. So that's kind of what this video shows. Sorry, you can go ahead and hit play if you will.
You're
The prior one, Sarah. The prior slide, Sarah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that one, the video didn't load for some reason. So it's not playing the video.
Do you want to try again, or it might just be, it looked like it had a play button there.
No, it's not letting me play it for some reason.
Okay. Yeah, we can
Sorry.
John, I'll send you a link to that video afterwards, John, if you want to share it with the team. It's a pretty good video illustrating that.
No,
Okay.
it's not
And then
letting me get to that slide.
okay. And then natural gas. So propane versus natural gas. Anybody who has experience with gas props knows that natural gas has always been kind of a step down from propane because the carbon content in natural gas is just much less. It's a cleaner burning fuel, it's lower carbon content, really works against you for making training fires. It's much, much easier to work with propane because the higher carbon content. When my dad pioneered natural gas systems in the 90s, they actually used to do natural gas tests at the facilities before they would confirm for a customer whether natural gas was even an option. Most people skip that step today. I'd say most of our competitors, what we see is they just take their propane system, throw it in for natural gas, and hope it works. What we've done at Simtech is we've really dialed in a custom natural gas pilot and burner system. What's going to play in this video? This is Harper College in Illinois, right near Chicago, about 20 minutes from Chicago. I'd say probably the best natural gas fire ever built. You'll still see some blue hue that you can't get around the physics of a natural gas fire, but it's also a multi-zone fire. So this one's actually putting out, doing some quick mental math. It's about 13.2 million BTUs per hour in here. I love what's in the new 1400, by the way. To me, the most um, important part to read is the appendix. And one of the parts I love in the appendix when you look at like the Class A side is those fuel loading packages that are in there that tells you these are the 5 recommended fuel packages, how you build them, what the BTUs are. Because I used to have to say, yeah, BTUs for gas versus Class A is a little bit of a guess. Now you have those BTU packages, and I could say this fire is better than most of those packages in 1400 based on BTUs. Again, very different in terms of thermal layering and reading smoke and fire behavior and things like that. We're not claiming we do that, but you can go ahead and play this one, Sarah, if you will. So this is starting with low flame, secondary burner, and then upper burner. At least on my screen, it actually looks a little whiter than the actual video looks. But yeah, it's a pretty good fire. And all of these gas prop systems have sound effects for search and rescue. This is obviously shown without the smoke machine running, so you can see the prop and the fire. It's all wirelessly controlled. All these systems have full SCADA systems, data recording, remote diagnostics, super streamlined. I mean, we're getting great feedback from Virginia on the big upgrade we did for them on how easy the system is to operate, how user-friendly it is, how little maintenance is required, that kind of thing. So we've really taken that part to the next level as well. You can go next slide, Sarah. And then the other thing we've introduced, again, I mentioned we do Class A and we do gas, is some kind of next gen, more realistic Class A props. So these stove props on the bottom left was a big execution for Spring Fire Department north of Houston. Some of these other ones, I think that bed prop was Ocean County, New Jersey. The sofa was in a competitor's container building for the Marine Corps. Vermont Fire, I don't know if anybody from Vermont's on, but we just did a closed dryer prop for Vermont. So we have these, to us, most of the Class A props or burn cribs that were out there over the years were pretty basic and really didn't look like furniture. If you look at that stove prop, you can load pallets horizontally on the surface grating and have a fire that's pretty easy to put out. You can remove the grating and put it in vertically, like you see in the model up top. You can actually slide pallets behind the upper cabinets and simulate extension. So we've done some things to really take some of these Class A scenarios to the next level as well. And this will be really brief, last like 2-3 minutes here. So just some updates on NAFTD member projects. Paul, you want to take this section?
Yep. So whenever you're ready, Sarah, it's fine. Breeze through this. Yeah, so like John mentioned earlier, excited yesterday through Sourcewell, we got Kentucky three trailers and closed trailers. It's gonna have SUV prop, a dumpster, and a spill fire. Excited to getting something into the state again. So, and then like we talked about before, the Prince Edward Island container out on the east coast of Canada. Bouncing around a bit. Got 3 interior fires in that balcony. Talk about multi-use, multi-function facility with a strip mall residential and a high rise, and some future burn rooms in the plans. John touched on Vermont just a minute ago with the Class A closed dryer prop. It also
Oh
has
man, it keeps advancing on me without me touching it.
no worries, no worries.
But the old deck might have had like a slide
Timing.
on it, Sarah. It might be my
I'll
fault.
talk faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000-gallon propane tank with 3 burners, and then just recently delivered a hose line trainer for them.
Yeah, that's this is gonna be my wrap up comment, but we're looking forward to seeing most or all of you in September at the annual conference. Any unique custom challenges service challenges, upgrades, things that don't exist in the market. I mean, our product line, a lot of what you saw today is based on customer input and unique requirements and demands. This 1,000-gallon propane tank prop for Vermont, making it 1,000 gallons, we can make it, any size anybody wants, not a big deal. The standard one is typically 250, and then we was always offered a 500. We're now repeating this 1,000-gallon one a couple other places. The big thing was though having the 3-burner design. Usually it's an impingement fire and a relief fire. This one actually had like a pipe crack fire coming off of it, which just made it unique. So Vermont wanted something that was just kind of hyper realistic compared to the more basic propane tank props. So we loved taking on those unique challenges. So if you've got them, definitely think of us, please.
Just Milwaukee Area Technical College. I've got 3 or 4 projects with this Wisconsin Technical College system. Flashover trainer. We sat in that Maryland NAFTD conference a few years ago. We listened to the UL talk, and we developed had developed beforehand already some trench vent and stuff they were talking about there, air induction, just basically reducing exposure to the trainers, the staff, and the students as well. Just more students, more flashes, and equally less exposure. So.
Yeah, Sarah, we're about done here. If you want to just exit presentation mode, I don't think you'll offend anybody, and we can just buzz through the last couple.
Sure.
The VDFP one that was just on the screen. That's that was the retrofit. Some older kitted burn trailers. Custom equipment design to fit those unique spaces. We're doing, I think we're up to a 10 or 11th project with CAL FIRE this year. So it's everything from outdoor props to multi-story fire behavior labs, flashover. Sometimes we just got an order from CAL FIRE Atwater for 4 of them. I saw John Schaefer and Cora were on, so a couple of mobile structural trailers and maze trailers that we did for Indiana. You just saw on the screen. Some upgrades and additions for Kansas on their outdoor prop fleet. Maine, I'm actually going to be with them in August for a demo in Booth Bay, Maine. I think I saw Greg on for Missouri. Outdoor props. Montana, we got to do some outdoor props for last year as well, into last year. Rhode Island State Fire Academy, mobile flashover similar with all those next-gen air induction vent, trench vent features. Tennessee State Fire Academy was a residential burn building with two levels, two floors of interior gas systems. A couple more Wisconsin Technical College projects, Marine Park Tech College and Waukesha. I think that's probably the end. So I don't know that anybody had any questions throughout, but are there any questions that we can answer on anything you saw today, or any unmet needs that anybody'd like to raise that we could think about for you guys ahead of meeting with you in September? We'd love to hear from you guys. Again, really thank you for the time, and look forward to seeing everybody in September.
Questions for John and team?
Yep, I can't raise my hands. PJ Norwood from Connecticut. I'm driving, so I got my camera off as well. Do you guys second for a question?
Yeah, hey PJ, how are you?
Good, how are you? So we are looking for a mobile confined space trailer, something that's mobile. We have the ability to transport between some large lowboy trailers, but we're looking for something that has the ability to also have a significant vertical transition, not just a horizontal box. So I'm not sure if you have something like that or if you've thought about that, but I'd be happy to maybe talk a little bit more in Louisiana about it after plant the seed today. Maybe come up with some ideas for future conversations.
Yeah, I think we probably have the 2 elements you're talking about. I mean, we already have a mobile confined space trainer it's based off of a 40-foot container with some really good confined space features on the inside. For the Navy, we often build these collapsible, because it has to be either collapsible or removable. Obviously, it's going to be movable for DOT compliance and whatnot. So we make these kind of collapsible rappel towers that we could easily make an enclosed version of that and make it your kind of your vertical confined space element, if you will, for rappelling down inside. And just need to understand some of those details and requirements for maybe what you need in it and how you want it designed. But that sounds very doable.
Okay, I look forward to maybe meeting in person and talking in September.
Sounds good. Thanks, PJ.
Thank you.
Other questions for John?
Hey, John, in the chat, they're asking if it's okay if we share that PowerPoint for other technical
Yeah.
colleges in Wisconsin. So can we just send to Mr.
Yep.
Cunningham and he can
Yeah.
distribute?
Yep. Absolutely. Please do. For sure.
Yeah, that
That's
works. And I just added a comment there. We figured out our YouTube channel permissions and stuff, so I should be able to get the recording up on YouTube as well on our NAFTD channel.
sounds good. Excellent. Yeah. It's already marked confidential, so the only ask I have is just, keep it within the group, obviously, and you guys will, but yeah, we'll be happy to share it with you.
Thanks, John. Other questions? Not seeing any mics going off.
I was just thinking we can also just get some of the like new product updates, had some cut sheet kind of information. There's cut sheets for almost all those products too. So Sarah, if you want to plan on just sending those cut sheets to John, might be helpful as well.
Perfect.
But yeah, if there's no more questions, again, really appreciate every chance we
Ward's
get
got
to.
one, I think,
Oh,
John.
sorry. Please, yeah, thank
Hey,
you.
sorry about that. I just heard you said it was confidential. So is that something I should not share with our colleges? I'm just looking to get
No.
that information out to them so they can look
Yeah,
into.
no, that's perfectly fine. Thanks for checking. No, I really just mean like, outside of the instructor cadres and your customers and stuff like that. I have no problem you sharing with them. We obviously just don't want it in like competitors' hands, things like that, which I know you guys wouldn't do anyway. So
Okay,
no concerns at all.
Thank
Yep.
you.
And another
John-
question, John needs to share your contact information as well.
Yep, I'll do that right now.
I can include that with the email when I send it out with the slide deck if you want, John.
As long as my fingers aren't too fat, I'm almost done typing. But yeah, if you don't mind, I can do that too. It's in the chat as well. And I think there'll be four of us in Baton Rouge. Gary West will be there, Lynn, Brian Arnold, and myself. I just saw Alan asking for a price list. Yeah, we have what we call sort of like generic proposals that are good within the 48 contiguous states, basically everywhere but Alaska and Hawaii, obviously for like freight reasons. I'd be happy to, Sarah can send those generic price lists over to John to distribute to the team for all the products, really for all the SimTech products, if that would be helpful. Happy to do that.
Yeah, and John, I was thinking Sarah and I can drop our info in here too, or if you wanted to share that way we can pop in on any of those generic proposals too per request.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, everything we do, we have for the NAFTD member agencies that can use it. Everything we have, everything we offer is on Sourcewell. So we're up to something like 2,000 line items on the Sourcewell contract.
It's perfect. Great. John, we really appreciate it. You and your team spending some time with us today. And even more so as one of our diamond sponsors for our conference. That means a lot. You guys have helped us out for a long time, and we truly appreciate it.
Pleasure is all ours. Thank you again for the opportunity to cut in on one of your meetings here. It's an incredible group you guys have, and again, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Happy belated Canada Day. Happy 4th to everybody on the U.S. side, and really excited to see everybody this September. Thanks again for the opportunity.
Great. Thanks again.
Take care.
All right. Just a couple organizational updates from me for everybody. First off, I really want to apologize for last month's meeting. Last minute, I had a flight delay. I was supposed to be home in lots of time to host the meeting, and then ended up about 4 hours late because of a flight delay, and just couldn't get it to run without me actually starting it. I tried to get one of the members of the board to take over, but with the short notice, we just couldn't swing it. So we'll work on getting Expert VR, who was scheduled for last month, on an upcoming meeting, so they can give you an update as well. The annual dues, I started sending out the invoices for the annual dues based on how many you had registered last year. For a bunch of the agencies, probably half have gone out. I know there's quite a few that have just paid in the last several months, so I didn't want to throw another one at you right away, so I'll hold off on some of those unless you really want it soon. Just drop me an email. And if you're able to, I'd encourage you to consider adding an associate member or members from your organization to get them a little more involved as well. We have several associate members now and a couple affiliates. You're also welcome to ask some of the colleges, those kinds of groups in your area, in your state or province to join as an affiliate member. They're only $250 each, and they get to participate in the listserv and member pricing on the conference and those kinds of things. So they get lots of good updates for their dues. If I've already sent you an invoice and you want conference registration added to it, just let me know and I can make the adjustments and send a new invoice out to you. It's not a big deal. We can work on that one. I sent an email, I think a couple weeks ago now, asking folks to confirm the voting member for each agency. That was sent directly to the contact that we had on file as the voting rep. Many of you have already responded, and I appreciate that. If you haven't, if you wouldn't mind confirming when you get a chance. The election for vice president will be coming out in the next couple weeks. It will be an online voting through Microsoft Forms. It will be secure that only one vote per agency to the named rep, and that's again why I'm asking for the named rep from each agency. If you are not able to vote and you need to delegate it to somebody else, let me know, and I will make that adjustment. The registration information and the room block for the conference is open. You can find that on the website on the conference tab. It includes the draft schedule as well. We look like we're going to have a pretty good full event over the 3 days that we're in Baton Rouge. Had a great meeting with the staff down there today, and they're all set, ready to go to host us and give us a nice tour of their facility. The board at our last meeting approved a new Excellence in Fire Training Award that will go out for the very first time this year. It'll be awarded at the conference, and Vector Solutions has graciously sponsored that on top of what they're already doing for the conference. That may or may not be an annual type event. You'll see more information on that on the website as well, and we'll send out more details on that as they come out. Have been working with the Pro Board over the last couple months on some eligibility discussion that they're looking at. They're trying to formalize eligibility requirements for new agencies joining the Pro Board, as well as existing agencies when they go through their reaccreditation, to try and firm up how and where agencies are allowed to certify individuals in their states and out of their states, or provinces, as the case may be. In some cases, they have recognized that a couple agencies, maybe one or two, it wasn't a huge problem, but they're trying to get ahead of it. A couple agencies were using contractors to do some of the certification, and the contractors were going outside of the jurisdictional boundaries determined by the Pro Board. And the agencies are not very receptive to that. So they're trying to get a better handle on that and formalize that into policy and part of their criteria. As I get more information on that, we will pass that along. Steve Edwards, past director with NAFTD, is also in those discussions. He's an at-large member with the Pro Board, and some of the COA members, I'm sure, have just as much information that they could share with you as well. Last week, I was at the NVFC conference in Arlington. Went really well. lots of great comments and folks stopping by the booth asking what NAFTD was, and most people don't even know who we are and what we are, what we do. But passed on some information to the folks that were asking who local contacts were, that kind of stuff, and directing them to our website where our directory lives. And with that, I'd encourage you to go into the website. There's a login button at the top corner. Use your registered email, and if you've never logged in, you should be able to do a password reset on it and get set up, and then update your profile information with whatever you would like to be shown on the website under the directory page. It's only what you want to be there. We don't post everything on there unless you want to post it. Finally, a couple changes that have been going on in the NAFTD world in the last few months. Alaska, Stephanie has moved on. State Fire Marshal, I hope I get it right, Lloyd Nakano, I believe he's on the meeting, is filling in right now while they go through some staffing changes and trying to get that position filled. Tucker Dempsey from Delaware has moved on. Chad Ingram is the interim director. He's the current deputy director, but he's the interim right now. That should be filled in the next couple months as well. We have a couple new affiliate members, as I mentioned, and a new member that I don't believe they have been in the past, but the U.S. Air Force Academy from the Department of War, their training and certification division out of Tyndall, has joined with a principal and an associate member. They just signed up yesterday. And if I'm missing anybody else, I apologize. Any questions on any of that?
John, this is Bob Hanson. Sorry about all the confusion. I've just been traveling, so it's trying to get my
No
computer
worries.
at the right links. Hey, for the associate member, do you need a name with that, or can we just put in a number for the number of associates we want?
A name and an email address would be great. If you don't have them right away, one of the agencies just said, look, sign me up for 2. Here's one name and the second is going to be filled soon. That's fine. But what I'd like to do is get their name and email address on the listserv and on the directory so that they get all the information that you want. Associates have to be approved by the state or province that they're in, as well as affiliates. So the career colleges can't just call us and join and say we want to be a member. You have to say that it's okay for XYZ college to join as an affiliate. And we will check with you before we add any of those.
Sounds good. Could you re-invoice me for 2 associates plus my primary then?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Any other questions, concerns, comments, stuff I can do for you folks to make your day-to-day lives a little easier?
Hey, John, it's Ward with Wisconsin. I was going to send you an email, but I got that email where you said another email is going to go out to voting members. I don't remember getting a voting member email.
You should have received an email asking if you were the voting member, and when we actually do the balloting, we'll send it out to that list.
Yeah, I got the one
Did you
that
get
said,
that one?
no, I got the one that said a separate communication is being sent
Okay.
to current voting representatives and no later than July 15th. I didn't get, I'll dig through my
Okay.
thing, but I've been looking, I didn't get, I was going to reply back to that email just to let you know so you have it. If
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
It may have gotten caught up in the system,
Yeah, or
but I'll double check on that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks. Any other questions? All right, we're right on the hour. So thanks everyone for your time. Like I said, if there's anything I can do, just reach out, drop me an email, phone call, whatever, and we'll do our best to help you out. Have a great 4th of July, everyone. Stay safe. Keep all your fingers.
Thanks, John.
Yep. Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.